It is your boy El Capitan Robbie J. The one and only Tyler Murray.
Are you ready to start?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start.
Okay. Welcome back to Immersive Sports Science, not bro science. More content like this, subscribe or smash that bell. I'm super pumped to have Robbie J from the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. If you would like to introduce yourself, well, I've already introduced you, but if you'd like to introduce
Most
yourself.
certainly, I am Robbie
and
J.
explain what you do.
Most certainly. I am Robbie J of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I'm the founder and owner of the company. We are an independent sports broadcasting company. We handle everything from play-by-plays of some of your favorite sports to player interviews, debates, analysis, everything that you see on your favorite sports channels like Sky Sportsnet, ESPN, all that good stuff. We do the same thing except independently and with a little bit more edge.
Happy days. Cool. So you obviously do the NFL, the American Football NFL, and cover UFC and NCAA college games, and you seem to really like what you do. I'm going to ask you, how did you even get into sportscasting?
It kind of just happened, honestly. I used to work in corporate America, in sales and marketing. I saw how much I was making a big company here in America called Comcast. I was sitting at my desk one day and I was like, if I'm making them this much money, I needed to go do something that I love. Sports was something that I love. Podcasting was something that was, kind of building and growing. I looked into the business aspect, looked into the numbers, and I decided, hey, this is what I'm going to pursue for the rest of my life. And I left corporate America, quit my job, and this is what I do full time now.
I'm one of big fans. I remember seeing one of your programs talking about March Madness, although personally I'm not a basketball fan myself, but I just liked how the way you interacted with Ty and how you got all the analysis down, got really in depth. And really, what I'm going to ask you is, what do you think contributed to your success as an amateur sports analyst? Or as a sport analyst?
I mean, honestly, a lot of the late greats that came before me, rest in peace to Stuart Scott, Chris Berman, who's still doing it on the ESPN Plus app, and so many others. Even Joe Rogan, who I'm sure a lot of people know who Joe Rogan is. Kind of just being influenced by those guys, but then also wanting to do it myself and have my own style, my own spin to it. I felt that there was something I could have provided to the industry that was seriously lacking in terms of content. A lot of the stuff that you see on TV, it's, super just guys in suits, and they're stuffy. They're not really saying what they really want to say, or they may say something for shock value or say something that's not accurate just for ratings and views. And I didn't want to be that, so I wanted to reshift the market and change things up.
You can definitely see that.
When you go on live and you're sitting there with beer in your hands, and it's all very different.
Very different, but I'm also, very, very knowledgeable throughout a whole entire broadcast. We have broadcasts that are sometimes 3 hours long, whenever we're calling a game.
Yeah.
But, I'm very knowledgeable over any sport that I'm covering. I take time, I research, I'm studying film, I'm studying the analytics, the numbers, everything like that. When I covered the Women's World Cup, I had to get down who Megan Rapinoe was, her backstory and everything like that. So it's a lot of work and a lot of man hours that go into it. And I have a damn good team that's behind me as well.
That's interesting you said that. Talking about the
research side there.
Obviously, as you mentioned, you prepare for games, but how do you research? How do you prepare for a stream or a game? What are the difficulties and the processes you have to go through?
So usually first it starts off with film study, getting to know the players that are participating in the event that I'm covering. So there's that aspect first. Injury reports. So I usually, contact a couple of doctors and so on and so forth that are in the sports medicine industry. I'll get their takes, their opinions, cross-reference them with the actual injury reports, just so I also get that independent take of that independent side as well. And then it's also stats, lot of writing stuff down, a lot of numbers. Never let any young one that's younger listening to this, if you think that you do not need math and you want to become a sports announcer, you want to become a sports broadcaster, you need math, because you are literally, throughout the whole duration of the game, I'm calculating how many drops a receiver has and to how many catches. And I'm doing a lot of it off the top of my head. And then I'm going back after I get done with the broadcast. I'm rewatching that game, and then I'm putting it all down on pen and paper. It's a lot of work.
Oh, I'm so shocking at maths.
So when you go through the game, you look at the game, you put down all the stats, or the same instance, number of passes a player had.
Like, when you look back, what is your process of reflection? Do you reflect? What ways do you look to improve your ability to stream and broadcast accurately and correctly for a game, and to improve the audience experience? What do you personally do?
I'm always looking for room for improvement. So when I go back, and even I watch my own work, I'm like, ooh, like messed up that player's name there, didn't get that pronunciation right, But then I'm also, constantly reminding myself that I am in a live environment whenever I'm doing so. Whenever going back and rewatching the players, it's important to also understand the game and understand the technique, how they use their hips, how they may box out to go and get the ball at the highest point of the catch, so on and so forth, so that you can truly understand and be able to break things down in your next broadcast. A lot of things on my broadcast that I do is I used to play a lot of sports, so I know a lot of the positions, so on and so forth. I was a high school superstar, so I'm able to, if I take American football, for instance, what I'm seeing on the TV and what I try and put out to the viewer as a commentator, hey, we got 3 receivers to the right. So what I may say is we got trips, strong side, that's right side. And I'm really breaking down the game for them, and I'm giving them the language of the sport. So 1, give them a better appreciation of it. 2, to also keep myself sharp off on what's happening to the game in the game.
I feel like, for instance, I watched a university broadcast about a pro football game, and they're almost like just talking about what's going on rather than talk beyond the game. I think it's quite interesting what you said about talking beyond the game and trying to give someone more detail rather than just what's going on.
And even down to the athlete's backstory that are on the field. I feel like that is an important detail that they hit too. If you have a couple of time in between what is going on to talk about a player's backstory, where they're from, their upbringing, it also connects the audience to the players as well. That's a thing that I enjoy about the interviews that we've done.
So I've seen a couple of your ones, the Christ, I've forgotten his name already.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, that's it. It was in my head, and then the Murray bit just disappeared somewhere.
It happens. It's all good. Yeah. Interview Kyler Murray. That was an amazing experience. I want to shout out to Sportscaster. They are a huge backing for the sports broadcasting community. Any independent analyst needs to check that out. And I had won a competition from Sportscaster that sent me to the NFL Players Association Rookie Premiere, which is a very exclusive NFL private event that's for the new rookies that are coming in, to get them adapted, teach them about how to manage their financials. They also get to sign their rookie cards and see their rookie cards. They do a lot of autographing that weekend. It's really an awesome time to intermingle with the players. I met a lot of the players, families and their wives and their moms and their dads and stuff like that. I have stories for days about that whole weekend, and it was amazing.
I find it kind of amazing how it is broadcasting, how it is all constituted in America, because in Europe there really is not much money in amateur broadcasting, or there's not very many people. Okay, The Athletic has come over from the US to the UK to write about sport in certain areas. What I find quite amazing is how much work goes into it, and how in North America, how the market is thriving. The question I have is, how much does Sportcaster help you with your goals?
So they have done everything from kind of pretty much, you can earn monetary value over there. I'm not going to go fully into what I have gotten,
Fair enough.
But they take care of their content creators, which is also something that is awesome in this space. Whereas, you and I, we've both been on YouTube. We know how much of a battle that is. With this, sportscaster, they take care of the sports analysts themselves. Them also providing that opportunity for me also led to me working with other industry analysts. During that weekend, I was able to get contacts to where I've interviewed Adam Rank, who's on NFL Network. I have gotten contacts through NBC Sports, ESPN Los Angeles. Raj Groves, who's a producer of a morning show in Los Angeles here in America. He has been on my show for 17 weeks straight throughout the whole NFL regular season. Yeah, I had a ESPN employee on my show for 17, and he really wanted to do it. He's like, I want to come on. I want to do this. I'm a guest. I was like, yeah, bro. Like, yes. And we became great friends, And he works alongside, the likes of Keyshawn Johnson, who's an NFL and college football legend. Like, literally, they sit next to each other every day, and that's who I was working with for 17 weeks on our show. I have no idea how it happened. I have no idea how we pulled it off, I have no idea how we pulled this off. I'm a big believer in 6 degrees of separation, and that's something that Sportscaster has been able to help me leverage. Is I've gotten to know a lot of people inside the industry that I would have not gotten to know before.
Sportscaster basically gives you networking opportunities.
Oh, very, very big networking opportunities because of Sportscaster. Some of the young podcasters that I've met through Sportscaster, we have created a junior writers program for the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. We're looking to one day in the future, a couple of years from down the line. Of course, we're still a new company. We want to turn that into an internship program to be able to help these young kids pursue, degrees and actually be able to take their writing skills to the next level. So we've already started bringing them on as independent writers, teaching them how to write, how to publish articles, so on and so forth.
That's really powerful stuff. You mentioned about, actually, no, it's a question I got coming in today, actually, is what is the lifestyle of a sport analyst and content creator? Can you give a few insights on that? Or is it kind of misconceptions about?
Yes, there are very, very many misconceptions on. I actually look at this as a whole scope as an entrepreneur, and I'm sure that you'd be able to relate to this. It is many hours of work. You pretty much sleep when you can. Now with the NFL season kind of coming to an end here in America, I'm getting ready for the NFL draft. That is a lot of scouting, a lot of reporting. Those are about anywhere between 14 to 16 hour long days. Hopefully no breaking news happens during then. I also do drop breaking news pieces. There's been times where my phone will go off. My phone sits right here in my lap. My phone will go off, and if breaking news drops, a coach gets fired or an NFL player is getting fined for whatever type of violation. I wake up, I got to report it. I got to get the details. I'm working that story. It's a lot of hard work. It's a grind. This chair that I sit in this chair day to day, and it is not comfortable. Even when I did the rookie interviews, those rookie interviews were about 12, 14-hour days long. You wake up when the NFL wakes up, and the NFL wakes up early. Football players are up early. So you're up at about like 8 in the morning, hurrying up, getting ready. You got to be down in the studio at 9, and you got to be in the studio and set up at 9. A player may be running late, so now you may have to be waiting on that. And then from there on, it's big, huge, bright lights. Like when I went for that experience, I was going there thinking it's going to be fun, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong. But those days, and I have a better appreciation for the guys on TV that are doing it. And it just makes me want to work a little bit harder, knowing how hard I have to put into it.
I should imagine that's what you have to do in order to put food onto the table.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because of me starting this, I was able to provide a great Christmas for my family. We had a great time, and that was fulfilling. Also seeing the smile on their faces, because it was like I did that and I provided that by building this with my own two hands.
Yeah, it's many people go on to line me personally as well. They try as a way of trying to make a side hustle or a second income or a way of supplementing their income, or even trying to get a business opportunity from it, trying to create those business opportunities, leveraging the potential markets that could be around or your influence in order to develop that income. In terms of, I'm not going to ask you what you're on.
It's not big by any means. It is not big, I promise you guys, but one day it will be, because I'm going to keep betting on myself.
I think that's actually one of the misconceptions. Like, you see people on there think, oh, they're famous YouTube famous, they should be like rich, and it's like, no, they're not. They're just
Nope.
paying for the 12 cats or something.
Things like that. Like I'm the same as everyone else. People will message me on Twitter all the time, and they're like, how did you do it? Da, da, da. And I'm like, I'm sitting back and I'm like, what have I done? Like, all I've done is the same thing that you can do. I have the same 24 hours. It's just what I choose to wake up and do with them is I choose to go to work.
Yeah.
Everyone is different. It's just a matter of how much, and you also got to be willing to learn too. The biggest thing and the biggest piece of advice I could give anyone that's looking at podcasting or, sports broadcasting, entrepreneurship of any form, take the time to learn. If you can listen to other people, I've had really great mentors. And I've taken the time that when I bring on people that are bigger than myself onto my show, to listen to them and to learn from them and to try and relate to them and see what I can pick and choose from them. And I feel like if people do that, then they'll see themselves grow a lot more.
That is actually quite, that's quite enlightening. Trying to learn from the others, trying to get mentors. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. Oh, I'm constantly always looking for new mentors. I'm a sponge. That's the only way that I'm going to grow in this space. I think that's why I've been able to do what I have done in a year and 3 months now.
Yeah. Do you ever look back at your old videos and cross-reference yourself to now?
It is so cringeworthy. Yes, I have. I do it pretty frequently, and I do that to remind myself where I came from. And I look at even the stuff currently, and I'm like, okay, so now where do I need to go up? Where am I trying to go? My goal is to eventually land somewhere off of YouTube. My goal is to eventually have my own kind of late night sports talk show on, a big program or something like that, on a big network. Or either take what I have and eventually have enough to buy a network and buy a studio, and that's one of the things that I really want to do with what I'm building, is that if I can build an opportunity for myself, I can build it for people. And if I can build opportunities for people, then that's what makes the world go round. Not everyone wants to go and punch the clock and do the same thing over and over and over again. Some people want to do what they really love, and I want to be able to provide that because I've been able to find that myself.
All I can say really, mate, is just go for it. Like,
I appreciate the support. Thank you.
So, in terms of diversifying income, how easy is that to do as a content creator, especially in the sports analyst space?
So it's as easy as what you make it. What a lot of people kind of mess up is how they market their content and when they market their content. So for me, when I started this up, fantasy football was originally my first passion, and that's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to create a fantasy football channel to help people, go out there, get championships, and win their money. But but I knew that I couldn't do that, and I couldn't do that year long, every day, 365. So I discovered that, hey, I needed to cover all sports, so I couldn't pigeonhole myself into one market. So that was the first thing that I had to come to grips with, was I had to take myself out of my comfort zone, and I had to learn everything and cover everything and expand my markets beyond what I had truly wanted. I had to be unselfish, and I had to do what the market dictated. So that's the first thing is follow the market and understand the market. So that was kind of step one. And then in terms of promoting and marketing, I had already been following, at least 3-4 other podcasts that I had witnessed, and when I was studying their business model. That's what I'm saying, find models. Feel free to still shamelessly believe me, they are going to do it to you, and I looked at their business models. I was like, okay, these guys have been around for 4 or 5 years, and it took them, by year 4 is where they were really bringing in the big bucks, where, they were at least touching close to 1% of what the industry income is. Fantasy football alone is an industry that's evaluated about $77 million, whereas podcasting, as you and I both know, is somewhere around about $59 million as of 2019. Of course, we're in 2020 now. That number is only going to go up. If you acquire 1% of that, of the two markets combined, you're looking at somewhere around about, 6 figures of 700,000. So I looked at that. I looked at the numbers. I was like, okay, I need to cut my timeline in half. I can't take 4 years to just go and try and touch 1% of the two markets. I had to promote myself on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And I also had to realize that I couldn't do it myself. So I went and I had a team, Of course, Ty, he's no longer with the company. He had moved back to his home in Chicago. But I had to bring on Ty, and I had to teach Ty, and give Ty responsibilities, because when I started this, I had so much on my plate. We had a producer at the time, Tim, who was amazing. And he was helping, kind of like the Instagram and the editing and stuff. Now we have our Rumboyz graphics person that's handling all of our graphic design and stuff like that. So I had to realize that I couldn't do it all myself. I had to build a team, and I had to be on every single social media.
Like even TikTok.
TikTok is exploding right now. People are refusing to get on TikTok because they're like, my 14-year-old daughter's on TikTok. Why am I going to get on TikTok? Listen here, Karen. The reason why your 14-year-old daughter is on TikTok is because she's sitting there getting 883 likes of her just sitting back dancing, doing the Carlton all day. She's just sitting there flailing her arms in her room, like just being crazy, and getting a lot of likes. And with social media, with those apps, if you're getting likes and they put ads on your stuff, they're going to pay you. So I realized that I had to expand everywhere, and that's my biggest things. If creators and entrepreneurs can do those things, it's gonna be flawless for them. Their business will grow tenfold. So many times, like I mentioned, I'll get those DMs on Twitter. How did you do it? What can I do? And I'll give them the advice, the same things that we're talking about now. And they won't do it, Adam. They go out there and they don't apply. I see them still utilizing the same marketing techniques. Make the market see you. It's just little things. Little things that you could do to market yourself. And like you said, being interactive.
It's the basics. People seem to miss out the basics. And I see that a lot in the sports science area. Like, it's really underserved, maybe because people don't want to go in there kind of thing, or they subscribe or whatever, but except from the area of podcasts. But it like you said, it's like people, they don't go into sports science because they don't do the right things. They don't do the basics. They don't say who they are or what they're searching for. What is your niche? Is it sports psychology? What part of sports psychology? Can we narrow it down a bit further? Explain your links. Put them in. Try and self-market yourself. Can't get that concept. It's an idea. Looking at social media and saying, well, that's a bit vain. That's for someone to have a rant about, whatever. I feel that's really missed.
I'm sorry, Anna. I just want to share something beautiful with the audience. Guys, the way that this whole interview here happened, where I'm featuring with Immersive Sports Science, is because of Adam's marketing on Instagram. I saw a promo for your new series that you're doing, and then I was like, I want in. I want in. I was inspired by it. I was like, it's 2020, let's go. And then now here we are. Market yourselves, people. Put hashtags. You also had all the right hashtags and everything. Market yourselves. Look at metadata. Study search engine optimization.
I feel that's where Little Media, Monster Company, and other similar things with their tools really kind of help with that. And trying to understand the analytics a lot better. There's loads of free ones out there. I'll probably give a link down in the description below.
Absolutely.
Like one thing I really got excited about your, I'm excited to watch your content, even though I'm not really a basketball fan, was because I saw the marketing. I saw, oh wow, pirate ships, Rumboyz. Okay, rum pirate ships. Oh yeah, I get that now. And it kind of grew on me, that kind of thing, and seeing the adverts come through with songs about rum.
Yeah.
Stuff that kind of worked. You got the branding, and that kind of threw me in on an emotional level.
And that's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to create something that no matter what, whether you were a sports fan or not, and no matter what sport I am covering, I wanted to build a community of people to where they could come, they could have an escape, crack open a cold one, relax. Let's watch some sports, being that we all love sports. Sports unites people. And let's just enjoy. I encourage everyone to go back and look at one of our very first posts on our Instagram. The very first mic that we used and our very first setup was nothing compared to now. We have green screen and all of this cool stuff where we can throw graphics up. If I want, I can even put film back here of a game. Like it's a lot of craziness that we're able to do now. Before, we were super grassroots.
To start somewhere, but yeah, that's quite interesting. I watched one of our video from almost a year ago. I was looking at the last Super Bowl, and I remember putting it together, and I was taking my time, trying to get the colouring right, trying to get the audio right, and I listened back to it a couple of nights ago with my dad, and I thought, fuck me, this shit.
It happens. It happens. Like our first episode, we wanted to try and be super in touch with the audience. And, we were aiming completely just for a pure 21 and up audience. So we had the whole set look like a Snoop Dogg music video. Then we learned that we needed to cancel that really quick. Just want to give a story really quick about the old days. We realized that we had to cancel that 6 episodes into our podcast. We had booked a Major League Baseball player by the name of William Reed. I can talk about it now because we don't do it on our show now. But we had booked William Reed Jr. from the Baltimore Orioles. He plays in the minors now, to come on our show. And he went back, looked at some of our content. He's like, I can't come on your show. I'm like, but you're not physically going to be here. You're going to be over the camera at your house in Baltimore. And he was like, no. If the MLB sees this, I'm gonna get drug tested. And he's like, I can't. He's like, and I can't be seen with that. So that was our very first no from a professional athlete, and we had booked it super easy too. When I send out an email to book a professional athlete, I'm usually pretty good at getting a response. And we completely messed this one up. We tightened down after that. We then interviewed NFL player, retired NFL player, Jared Smith. And then from there, interviewed 40 rookies and multiple other NFL analysts. Oh, don't get me wrong. When we chose to change that part of our show, we lost some of those beginning grassroots subscribers because they're like, oh man, you changed. And I was like, I have to. I'm trying to work with the NFLPA, and it worked out. It worked out.
But anyway, your personality, your core sense, your core audience hasn't changed as such. You're still maybe slightly toned down, but you're still the same presenter coming on. You're still talking about it from lots of enthusiasm, still talking about it as if it's like a highly educated sports analyst sitting down in his room.
Oh no, occasionally, we still break that out, depending on the event. The Super Bowl is going to be an amazing broadcast for us. We have a huge event. By the way, I always encourage people to try something different. If you have an idea, don't be afraid to get out there and try it. What we're doing for the Super Bowl, and you're probably going to think this is absolutely nuts. I am bringing on close to about 10 to 15 different analysts, throughout a 2.5 hour span. They are going to all be coming on discussing, their podcasts and stuff like that. They'll all get a 15-minute slot. I'm going to be having musical guests. We're going to be doing NFL autographed items like a giveaway, like memorabilia. I'm going to be giving away some Rumboyz merch. We just got in with a headphone company, and I'm going to be giving away a pair of ESOS audio headphones. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We're going to be doing a Super Bowl kickoff party. We got a really big name that's going viral on YouTube right now, Sean and Noel performing. It's never been done before. I'm pretty much doing a festival via live stream for people. Full concert style type of experience like you see on TV for the world. It's going to be nuts. Never been done. February 2nd. Be sure to tune in, guys.
So I know what I'm going to be doing when the Super Bowl comes on. I'm going to have the TV on. I'm going to have it on mute, and then just have like the Rumboyz in the background and just listen to your commentary over there. It should be really good, I imagine.
That's what I find so fascinating. One of the greatest compliments I've ever received from the general audience that views us is, I just had to mute my TV. I am now listening to you. You are my commentator. And I find that just so awesome, because that means that I'm doing better than the guys that are getting paid to be in a booth.
I should imagine that was quite rewarding.
Yeah, like I was during the World Cup, I was getting viewers from over in Europe that were like, you're the person that's calling the game for me, and that's just so amazing when your outreach can expand internationally. I mean, I lived in Italy for about 8 years out of my life, so I understand the culture and everything. And it's just, now that we're able to interact, look at this podcast. I'm here in Colorado Springs in America. You're in the UK, bro, and something beautiful is happening here. International brands are merging and are networking. Anything is possible with social media. Just gotta market yourself right. Social media, I'll definitely touch on the topic. Social media, its powers can be used for good and for evil. It is up to you how you utilize it, and how you utilize it also tells you a little bit about yourself. So self-assess yourself. If all you're seeing on social media is toxic, stuff and toxicity, then maybe there's something that you have to change about yourself. And and reflect back with, and maybe you got to delete some people, or change the posts that you're looking at, change the music that you're listening to, so on and so forth. If you're seeing a lot of positive posts and a lot of things that are making get up and go, if when you wake up you got Gary V screaming at you on Instagram, you're like charged up, ready to go. So just always, I always want to preach those self-analyze yourself. If you're seeing a lot of negative stuff on social media, that's because that's what you're associating yourself with. Change your circle, change your lifestyle, and you'll feel a whole hell of a lot better.
Likewise, I saw a TV debate actually today, and they're saying that social media doesn't necessarily reflect society, as per se. They were talking about certain instances where the top trending didn't meet what was actually happening news-wise.
It reflects opinion. It reflects opinion. You go in your Twitter feed, you look at, you go to begin a tweet. As soon as you hit that hashtag, all the top trending things are going to pop up. And you see some crazy stuff sometimes. And that's because it's reflecting opinion of public view. That's something that psychologists, need to be looking into, versus stating the adverse. Maybe there's something there. Maybe it is actually reflecting what's happening. You mean someone live streaming, something going crazy in the Middle East, is not reflecting what's actually happening? No, I'm sorry, that's real. So that's kind of what I say there is that's people that are smart and are certified as being smart, trying to flip your opinion and trying to leverage the fact that they are quote unquote certified smart to have influence and to have power over the way that you're thinking, that you're already perceiving. My mama always taught me one thing: if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
You could say it's totally quacky.
I like how you did that. That was nice.
I apologize. I'm just so punny.
Yeah, very punny.
Talking about TikTok and Instagram, where do you see the future in TikTok and Instagram, mainly their IGTV function, and how, as someone who streams and broadcasts, how do you reckon people could monetize and leverage that in the future?
So I think that starting off with first Instagram, it's pretty much going to almost shift completely towards IGTV. A lot, and I feel that way because of the video function, and people are kind of enjoying the functionality of videos and stories more so than just regular still pictures. Regular still pictures, that was working for us back in 2012, and don't get me wrong, that still is going to be there because the expression of picture says 1,000 words is never going to die. But people are starting to receive content in a lot more of a different manner, and that's where TikTok is coming in, because it's integrating music, it's integrating humor. I'm even starting to see a lot of analysts in our space, and I've been trying to influence analysts in our space go get a TikTok. And I'm getting guys that are now getting on TikTok, and they're posting the betting odds with the cool fonts above their heads. They're playing like the E40. Nope. Yep. Like telling which games to pick.
That gives that boy some milk.
Dude, and they're loving it though. But like they're getting viewers, they're getting subscribers. It's growing their platform. And you're able to utilize that to kind of leverage, in terms of leveraging monetization. If you are, like for me, for instance, right now, I have my own website, rumboyz.com, which is where all of our writers write and everything like that. And that was one of the things that I really wanted to make sure, I had my own media space to make sure that people took me serious as a media company. Because I never wanted to be looked at as a YouTuber. I think that's the most offensive term. I'm an analyst. So leveraging, the monetary aspect, I wanted to take my other pieces of content, my other social media, and drive them to my own website to, one, get them to know my brand and associate my brand. Two, check out, our merch over there. Three, when they're reading the articles, there's ads and so on and so forth. That's bringing in that monetary aspect to keep the company running. I wanted to make sure that with certain Instagram posts, I'm directing them to YouTube. With certain things, I want to make sure I'm directing them to Sportscaster. I'm always trying to make sure I'm directing them to Sportscaster, no matter what I'm doing. You kind of want to build your own algorithm, and after a while, you know what you're making, you know what you're doing, you know what you have to make to get to your certain goal. So you want to use those other social medias to leverage monetization on the platforms that you're already monetizing, and then eventually those platforms will then start monetizing, and now you have multiple different places of passive income.
You could say it's just really far too dangerous to rely on just one platform.
It is far too dangerous to rely on one platform, and I never understand why. And I see this mainly on Twitter the most, where a lot of podcasters, the interaction is so immediate on Twitter and B2B. I see so many podcasters to where they only have their podcast on Apple. Why? Why are you just doing audio? Why are you not doing audio and video? It's astonishing to me. I always encourage people, try and tackle as many mediums as possible, and try and market and brand yourself out there as much as possible. Don't be afraid to try something new. If you feel like if you're on one medium and then you're coming and then you're messaging me and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, go create a YouTube, and then you don't create a YouTube, that's on you. That's you're being stubborn, and the market in any space, no matter what it is, does not reward stubbornness. I used to work in the music industry, and one of the best artists that I worked with was a DJ that he produced all types of music, everything from EDM to rock to country to hip hop. And that's what was making him successful. He was getting booked on tours, getting booked to, do the weddings and da-da-da-da-da-da. He was selling mixtapes, like everything like that. That's what you need to do. And then when you blow up and when you get big, then that's when you can say, okay, I'm sorry, guys. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to focus on. That's when you can make those type of decisions, because you can afford to take loss.
You can afford to take a little bit more risk than someone who is putting money at the problem but might not be getting that kind of thing.
And that's not to say that risk isn't associated, at the level of business that I'm in. I take risk every day. I'm literally, going to be starting a new podcast series later this afternoon called The Rum Report. And I don't know how it's going to go. We're mixing in, a little bit of humor and but I need content, I need a fresh idea. So, I'm taking a risk.
Yeah.
Business is like Vegas. You got to gamble sometimes.
Sometimes you just have to put it all on black or like red.
Exactly.
Just go all in.
Coming up to, what are your goals this year and goals as a creator?
This year, 2020, the first thing that I thought was, how do I top 2019? I did not expect and I did not think that I was going to do a lot of the amazing things, that I did in 2019. To be honest, the rookie interviews and doing those rookie interviews, that's the biggest daunting thing to try and overcome, because that's huge. I met the legendary Matthew Berry, who's an amazing sports analyst and sports commentator. He has a podcast on ESPN, and I met him right outside the Rose Bowl, and he literally told me the two pieces of advice: outwork yourself, and remember, no one can ever outwork you but yourself. And then one of the things he told me, well, not so much a piece of advice, but one of the things that still clicks and till this day, is when I told him that we were there interviewing all 40 of the rookies, he was like, I only have 8 interviews today. He was like, you're doing 40, all 40? I was like, yeah. He was like, I know people that have been in the industry 11 plus years, 5 plus years, and they can't even get one interview. They can't even get access to this event.
That's incredible.
And so that sticks with me every day. Just like, I gotta one up that, so whether it's, we end up going back and doing it again, or whether it's I'm now hitting athletes up, from my phone via Twitter, Instagram. And I do that. At least I usually have about 2 days out of the week that I focus purely just on booking. And I'm just constantly sending out messages, sending out emails and stuff. Whether it's me having to do it by my own hand, I want to make sure that I one up that. But just overall, trying to outdo myself. I don't have Ty anymore. You know, I don't have the same team that I once had anymore. You know, so 2020 for me has to be stepping up to the occasion, rising up to the challenge, and making sure that I'm also able to reach a point where I can really truly, you know, take care of my team. They're taken care of, but we need to really, you know, take care of them. I want to take Rumboyz to the point to where, you know, we have our own rum, to the point to where we're able to provide healthcare for our riders and our team. You know, that's where I'm trying to go. That's what I want. So that's where we're at right now. Trying to find big endorsements, trying to find big deals, trying to move our product in a positive direction, and just, you know, keep building up the numbers, you know, building up that subscriber count, and just doing more overall.
What is your prediction, especially from a North American point of view, what's your prediction in terms of sportcasting in 2020?
So I think for as independent analysts, the future is bright. More and more people are, and I'm finding, you know, firsthand, people are coming to independent sports broadcasters. I remember when I had found Sportscaster, I was like so excited. I was like, yes, you know, amazing site. You know, the gaming community, they got Twitch. You know, now the sports community, we got Sportscaster. And now I'm starting to see a lot of other kind of like copycats, like, if you will, trying to do the same thing. You know, so it's definitely becoming more pertinent. I'm seeing the tweets all the time where, you know, especially in American football, there's an announcer by the name of Booger McFarland, and everyone can't stand the guy. You know, nobody likes the guy. He gets completely dragged out on Twitter, and I'll literally hop in those tweets. I'll be like, you can come and you can watch my show. I'm calling the game. And then I end up gaining a new fan or two that day. You know, so I think the future is bright, and I think that this is where the future is going. I think that honestly, it's only a matter of time before, you know, Sky Sports, ESPN, CBS, NBC Sports, all of these big companies, NFL Network, all these big companies start looking down at the little guys, and they start emailing us talking about, hey, can you come on in and be an analyst? You know, do you mind, you know, doing a segment? We're seeing all the time that, well, you may have an influencer that you may know of, or a YouTuber or something, that they are all of a sudden on ESPN. You know, in the NBA celebrity basketball game last year, there was like 3 YouTubers in a celebrity basketball game. Like, you know, so you're seeing more and more to where we're the ones coming in and reshaping the space. I recall an interview that I did with a producer from NFL Network, and she had literally stated to me, real life stated to me, that, oh yeah, we actually have a team at NFL Network that their job is to just scroll through Twitter and find tweets and find takes from regular people so that we can actually, you know, to help find stats that we're not able to find. And they'll literally take these tweets and copy and paste them and insert them into their reports. And she legitimately told me this. She's like, we turn to you guys all the time. And then I literally found out, and I have found out, that there's even been athletes that have came in and checked out our show. You know? So, I mean, it's only a matter of time. You have
an area that EFL can't potentially do, or other sports or other channels and networks just can't reach an audience that they just can't reach at all.
Exactly. That's what I think that is so beautiful. It's the intimate interaction that sports broadcasters and sports analysts, you know, of the independent side are able to provide to people and give them a viewpoint that they're not traditionally getting. Now, one thing that I do want to add, though, with the future of sports broadcasting is, for viewers, try and be responsible about the content that you are viewing. You know, being that this is sports analytics, try and find the most accurate opinion. Being that a lot of these people are going to be independent, you know, don't just go and look for like the fan theories and the rants and stuff, like all the crazy stuff. You know, try and go for, you know what I mean, content with substance, with quality, because there are a lot of creators out there that are working really hard, and there are a lot of really knowledgeable ones, but there are a lot of ones that aren't so and could lead you down the wrong path. And especially if you are playing in competitions like fantasy football, or you are putting, you know, money on games and stuff like that, because that's where the future is going, you know. Exactly. Please view responsibly. We tell people all the time on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, drink responsibly, view responsibly, okay?
Drink responsibly, but only with Rumboyz rum.
Exactly. I'm gonna make that an ad.
That's quite interesting, actually. I saw a independent guy try and do the Premier League, and he was talking about how one team only won like 12 miles from the sea or something. I was like, yeah, that's interesting, but what about the actual game?
Exactly. See, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. There's a lot of pretenders out there, but don't get me wrong, there's a lot of contenders out there as well.
Okay, so if you had to give advice to your earlier self, your younger self.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay.
What advice would you give?
So if I had to give advice to my younger self, just my younger career self, or like my younger self, because if I were to give advice to my just overall younger self, like if I were to go back at like 18, 19, I would tell myself to start this a whole lot sooner. You know, get ahead of the wave. And that's what I wish I had have done. I feel like that's the best advice. If I had a time machine and I could go back and time travel, I'd be like, listen, 19-year-old Robbie. But instead I enlisted. Yeah, instead I enlisted in the military. If I could go back and give business me in my current space right now, just how could I say this? Just keep being open and keep being a sponge. Be aggressive every day. Be aggressive every day. I would give myself the same advice that I'm giving now. I feel like a lot of times when people ask themselves this question and they look at it from, you know, just narrowing down like in that aspect, in the entrepreneurial aspect, the first thing that you have to do as an entrepreneur is find happiness. You know, and if you're happy in the space that you're in, then you're constantly always going back and you're reassessing and you're looking back. You're like, okay, you know, I was doing that and then that was working, and now, you know, you're just looking to how to expand upon it. So I think right now the space I'm in is just looking for expansion, and just looking to do more, and definitely probably tell my previous self that, yeah, you're about to interview 40 rookies and you need to top that. That's so hard. Like I ever since you asked that question, I'm just like, damn, how am I really going to top that in 2020?
Just have a big book about that, right? 40 people.
Yo, exactly. You got me. It's all good.
Okay, Metcalf.
Exactly. This year, like I said, I'm hoping that it happens. Just the stars got to align. Stars got to align.
It's interesting what you said about the expanding. Your area certainly is expanding. We're seeing more streaming per se on anything from random sports, from fishing, fishing to
I've seen people stream fishing. One of my guys now, before JD, before he had gotten signed on to the Rumboyz, he had literally did a Bassmasters fishing competition live stream. Like, I was like, yo, I need this guy. You can cover fishing. You're on board, dude. Moment right there, I knew I needed him on my team. I was like, I got a fishing analyst if need be. Shit.
I've seen like one recently because my dad just had it randomly on the TV, like off YouTube. And it sounds, this guy was like from Birmingham, so he's like Peaky, imagine Peaky Blinders, that kind of accent. Have you seen the show?
It's like an old school show, right?
Yeah,
80s,
like 80s?
Dressed like that.
Yeah.
Sit at the side of a bank going, I'm here for the strawberry fishing competition.
Like, I mean, like that. And people consume that, but that's what's great about the expansion of the space. People consume content, and there's so much different personality types and different hobbies and different interests. You know, even outside of sports, you see people creating channels just for anything. You know, you got people that are doing cooking and all sorts of stuff, you know, and people are thirsting for content outside of cable. I think that streaming and broadcasting, the independent broadcasting, it's going to take over cable. It's eventually going to overrun it. It's going to take 10, 15 years. One of my biggest mentors back in corporate America taught me, because we were working in the technology space. He let me know, son, you work in the technology industry. If you don't like something, don't worry. It'll change in 5 minutes. There's always something new, and there's always someone trying to, you know, come up with some new form of broadcasting or some new form of, you know, play-by-play synchronization. You know, even on the marketing side, the social media is changing. The algorithms are always changing. Metadata is constantly improving. The trend, what is trending, and trying to get yourself into that conversation to skyrocket to the top of that algorithm. It's this space is expanding because technology is expanding, and it's expanding. This is a space that's not expanding by the year, by the week, the day. This space is expanding by the minute, by the second. So you're constantly having to remain on your toes and be studying. And that's why I said, you know, gotta be a sponge. Younger me, continue to be a sponge. Me now, continue to be a sponge. All of you guys out there listening, be freaking sponge. Just do it. The more you know, the more you'll grow.
So another question, slightly pertinent. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Well, to be honest, myself and as well as pretty much most of the analyst community, both amateur and professional, got it wrong. I predicted Ravens Saints. That's not happening. And I did go on air and say that on my show. Silly me. So what I'm thinking, it's going to shape out now. We're looking at the 49ers and Green Bay Packers. They're going to be going up against each other this Sunday. And then following that game, we have Kansas City and the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans, they got a damn good defense. You cannot discount them out. And they also eat up the play clock by running the ball a whole lot. And plus their coach knows any and every way to bend that rule book to also take extra time, whether it's taking delay of games, whatever the case may be. Tennessee can win that game if they keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. The problem is I don't think that they keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. Patrick Mahomes is one hell of an athlete. He sees the field in a completely different manner. So I'm going to pick them to go on to the Super Bowl for the AFC. Now, for the NFC, there is that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. You know, but San Francisco has also balled all year around. I also did interview Nick Bosa of the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna roll with my rookie, and I'm gonna put the 49ers in there as well. And also, I interviewed Mecole Hardman of the Kansas City Chiefs as well. So I'm gonna go with the rookie bowl. I'm gonna put both my guys in, and I think they pull it off. But I do want to point one thing out: if it is Kansas City and it is Green Bay, Super Bowl number 1, 1967, Green Bay defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. To look for this to kind of happen for all of you guys out there that, you know, you like the betting and stuff. Look for Vegas to maybe, you know, have the refs sway some penalties one way and make it to where those two come down to it. But I'm going to go and I'm going to pick Kansas City as my winner overall for the whole thing. Like I said, I'm picking 49ers, Kansas City, and I am going to pick Kansas City to win. They just have too many weapons. You as a sports science guy, the speed of Tyreek Hill, that alone is the scariest thing on the field.
Tyreek Hill combined with Pat Mahomes together is an awesome couplet in that respect.
Exactly. Especially when Pat Mahomes is able to make some of the throws that he's able to do.
Just stands up in the pocket.
Exactly. His football IQ is at such a high level, and he understands the game, and he understands also his receivers and how they have to adjust on route so well. And I think that's what elevates him past a lot of other quarterbacks in the NFL. It's definitely going to be an interesting game. I look for this year's Super Bowl to be high scoring, no matter who gets in.
So where can any of my followers potentially find you?
For now, we are on the web at rumboyz.com. You can check us out. Definitely check us out on YouTube, and as well on sportscaster.com. You can actually download the Sportscaster app on all Apple devices. Working on it coming to Android devices as well soon, but right now it is on all Apple iOS devices. So rumboyz.com, YouTube, Sportscaster, and all social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, at Rumboyz, spelled with a Z, N-E-T. Again, Rumboyz, spelled with a Z, N-E-T.
Yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car